Worth it?
Impressive.
Yeah. Hang on.
All right.
Watch it! Another one down.
Close call.
All right then. What the? Shit.
Of course. Nothing's ever simple.
I think I see a place we can swing over to the crown. Just a little... What?
Shit!
Oh, thank you.
Hurry up and climb! I'm slipping!
Worth it?
Impressive.
Yeah. Hang on.
All right.
Watch it! Another one down.
Close call.
All right then. What the? Shit.
Of course. Nothing's ever simple.
I think I see a place we can swing over to the crown. Just a little... What?
Shit!
Oh, thank you.
Hurry up and climb! I'm slipping!
Huh? Worth it?
Impressive.
Yeah.
Hang on.
All right.
Watch it! Another one down.
Close call.
All right then. What the? Shit.
Of course. Nothing's ever simple.
I think I see a place we can swing over to the crown. Just a little touch.
Oh, shit!
Oh, thank you.
Hurry up and climb! I'm slipping!
Worth it?
Impressive.
Yeah.
Hang on.
All right.
Watch it! Another one down.
Close call.
All right then. What the? Shit.
Of course. Nothing's ever simple.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for what appears to be the final session with Chloe and Nadine as they go after the Tusk of Ganesh. So wonderful to see you. There's the Commander Cody is here. Mr. Jeremy is here. Good evening, I should say, because it's almost midnight, isn't it? Well, it's 2 hours to midnight. That sort of thing. Very cool. Mr. Brian is here. Good morning and welcome. Yoshi is here. Good morning. And that is, I guess, the same time zone as we are. I think. I can never remember. what happens above me. Rosie's Gym is here. Matthew from Rosie's Gym. Wonderful to see you one last time. I think before you go off to your extremely cool trip. I'm really looking forward to seeing pictures there. And then we have Nancy's Art, and we have anyone else? I think that was it. Anyone else who's out there watching, thank you. Thank you for dropping by. I must admit I've had some technical issues this morning in that I couldn't log into the PlayStation network, which means I can't easily connect my PlayStation to my PC. On Wednesday, look at that, my goodness, that is indeed. So you're going to be with us today and tomorrow. Maybe I'll smuggle in another extra stream just for you on Twitch in the afternoon. Who knows? Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, something like that. If you're still around, let's do this. So yes, couldn't log into the PlayStation Network, which meant I couldn't stream my PlayStation to my PC and then relay it to you. There would have been, of course, the option to connect it directly, but that means unwiring PCs, rewiring them. Thankfully, I have made it possible. And I am in, which is great. So here we are. This is my PlayStation through the wonder of remote play. But I had to uninstall and reinstall the program just to make that work. So crazy stuff. Anyway, we got it off, so this is good. Exactly, we're going to have a good send-off for you, Matthew. Exactly. And I also must admit that I have played a little bit further in the game and realized it ends very soon. So we're probably going to be done with this in about 45 minutes, at which point we can do something else. That means we can either play another game, a different one, or we can go and have a look at Blender fluid simulations. That is something that I've been practicing last week, and you know, one of those things we can think about it. Have a think what happens at the end. So we're gonna. This is like going straight into huge amounts of action. So nothing really to get us chilled out in the Saturday morning, but you know, it's still going to be great to watch, and I think it's a nice way to bring this game to a conclusion. Okay, let's go jump right in and have a think. If you want to do Blender fluid simulations or if you want to do something else, let me know in the chat. Yes, end of the line. So we left Chloe and Nadine and Sam, in fact, at the train that has been speeding off. And I think we're in a Jeep right now. We need to follow the train. One of those things. Let's see if we can make it happen. The Tusk of Ganesh, including Asaf, I think Asaf is the guy. I always think of a vast antivirus. Asaf is on the train together with the Tusk, and we must have it. We don't know why, but hey. Blender fluid simulation. All right. Let's do it. We can do it both. We can pour ourselves a cup of coffee.
I make my own roads.
Well, keep your eyes on your road then.
Hey, Sam,
Is this the
did
road?
you want to drive?
I mean,
Too bad. Buckle up, Buttercup.
There's the train, and we don't really have road. We don't have road. I can try and avoid these things. This is kind of nice that they brought this back in this Uncharted game. So driving the Jeep, that was in Uncharted 4. That was a big thing. And I think something similar to this chase scene was there.
Don't slow down.
I might have slowed down here.
We can't lose sight of the train!
I didn't even know there was a road here.
Shit, motorbike!
Run them off the road!
Run him off the road, you say?
Hey!
Oh, that's quite fun.
Get them out of here!
Out of my way.
Oops.
No hitchhikers!
Martina is here. Good morning. But it is leading up to the boss fight, which is why this is all so crazy. My goodness. And I had expected it to be kind of a slow-going, puzzle-solving type game.
One down!
The train! Get the train!
Oh dear.
Take care of the Tusk.
Don't you worry.
Get closer and I can jump aboard!
You got it.
Come on! Pull the board!
I got it!
This reminds me of...
Don't get him, ladies! Oh, shit!
Good luck, mate. Think he'll be all right? Didn't know you cared.
He's got a tusk.
This was a little bit like
Hey,
Sylvester Stallone,
Catch
isn't
where
it?
they put that giant crate.
Near the engine.
Right,
cliffhanger.
that's our next stop then.
Giant crate. So this here on the train, I remember there used to be a part in Uncharted 2 that was a little bit like this. So this is really difficult to make from a programming point of view. You have the level as it is, but you don't run around in it. You put your character on top of a moving target and you run around on the moving target. And you put all the other, like the enemies and all that, onto this moving target as well. And of course there's going to be shooting going on. And all of that happens while you move both the camera and your train through a level. That is crazy. That is really crazy. Camilla is here. How's it going? Good to see you. So from a programming point of view, this is really, really difficult. Ah, treasure. And I wonder, I mean, how large is this level? Does the train go around in a circle? Because if I wouldn't do anything, it would appear that I just, it just takes forever to go through this level. It's wonderful, wonderful the way they've done this. And I'm glad this is a thing that they didn't bring back in Uncharted 4. They only brought this back in the Lost Legacy, so very, very nice. I could just watch this for hours. Parent the object. That's probably what they've done, yes. But I bet you run into all kinds of things with, I mean, we don't have anyone to shoot, but imagine you point your gun at something, at a target that then goes around the corner by the time the bullet arrives and all those things. It's got to be a nightmare. It's like jumping the shark, isn't it? Let's find that tusk.
Nowhere to climb.
Huh. How about here?
Over here.
Mind your step.
Yep. Okay, this is
Oops.
really dangerous.
You've been working all night.
try the other side.
Ooh. Looking forward to that top secret DAS job. Ooh, how exciting.
Whoa, easy now.
I've been working this week more on my DAS masterclass, and I've finished... Oh, treasure. I finished a section of part 4 now. Sorry, part 3. That is about post-production. There's 4 parts about post-production in Photoshop with DAS renders. And you get all the source files so that you can go and practice. So this is available to my supporters
Making
already.
progress.
About an hour and a half worth of post-production tips and tricks. Was there another treasure here? Was it maybe upstairs? Can I go upstairs somehow? Ah. Or maybe if I go on the other side and then go upstairs, jump back, that sort of thing. Because I can see her armband is glowing, but I don't think I can see an obvious treasure here. If I'm here, the armband's no longer glowing, so I have a feeling it's probably on top of that card. A J character, can you imagine? Brian was offering once to make one in Character Creator. That might be interesting. Don't know how we'd get him into DAS Studio. We could make it happen.
Out here.
Oh, maybe this is how I can climb and get that treasure if I can find one. J for Genesis 8 male. I like it. Can we see anything? I can't see anything. No treasure. No treasure. Let's forget the treasure. It's cool. Oh, evildoers! And cars as well. That can't be good. Oops. I didn't see there was a dude there. There's your favorite neck snapping action, Jeremy. Now the shootout starts. My god. Oh, what's that? Shall we go back? Did you see a ladder? before the real action starts, you know? Oh, I don't think I can go back. You spotted the ladder, I didn't. Okay, fine. Next playthrough then. Okay. Posing lights and composition. I like it. I like it. Well, have fun. I'm looking forward to when it comes out. Do let us know which product that is. I mean, you know, when the time comes.
This is crazy. We should just let them die.
There's no way they can get to the bomb.
And if they manage to dislodge the cart, we work too hard to have it all go up in smoke.
Isn't that the idea?
I could.
What I mean, smartass.
Maybe I can go and drag him out of the window? Somehow. Oh.
What the? Here!
I guess they are. Where's the dude though? Where is he? I chucked one out, where's the other guy? Mr. Brian, what's going on?
I saw them going that way.
We have snakes on a train type thing. Oh, hello. Oh no. Ah, dude. No! Don't jump off the train! My god. It's too difficult. So there's a dude on top of the cart. Gotcha. Oh, this may be a good idea for maybe a grenade, perhaps? I'm thinking. Will that work? On a moving target?
We are not.
We are not alone. That grenade thing worked quite well. Maybe we can go and chuck it into the next carriage here, like so. It works! Physics on a moving target and smoke. That is quite an achievement, I have to say.
We got them.
Shit!
Language. So last time I think I went out of the window and there was a guy on top of the train. Gotta make sure that guy doesn't get me again. Is he still here? I think he is, isn't he? No, don't do that. Go back out.
Really?
Maybe I can just drag him down. He doesn't see me. Maybe I can do this? No. He's too clever for that. Oh, now he's behind me. I thought he went away. This is too stressful in the morning. Crimson Mist, yeah, that's it. So many of these people, and it's really not easy to line them up and shoot them because the train moves. Where's that guy downstairs? In the carriage. Oh yes, I see. Oh, and a sniper too. Let's ice this guy. Oh my. That is just...
You will not stop us. Open fire.
Incoming! More motorcycles! Oh, shit!
Motorcycles on top of all this.
You are in trouble now.
What are we going to do about the motorcycles? I don't think we can do anything about them. No, 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 no! Teamwork, very good.
You're mine.
Get down!
Easier said than done. Get down, Chloe. My goodness. Get now. Oh no! Okay. Parent the bullets to the target and then pull the trigger. That should do the trick. Let's see what those grenades come in handy for. Maybe we'll go and put one here. No! Nadine! Careful!
Motorcycles! Shit!
Nadine survived. That's good. Nadine's all good. Everyone seems to have stronger guns than I have.
I got one!
Just when you've lined them up. And then he slides around. That's crazy.
You need to move!
Hey, isn't this a Tommy gun that Chris recently built? Shoot him already! How? Why? Really? She's not even waking up. That's crazy good. Roberta is a seasoned veteran. She does fights like this in her dreams all the time.
Incoming! More motorcycles! Shit!
Finally! I like that I can shoot right through Nadine and it doesn't really matter. The bullets just arrive at the target where they should be. That's quite nice. Come on. 0! That's not a good number of bullets, is it? Okay, I need some proper guns here. Seems to have done the trick. Oh man. And she jumps right into the explosion, my goodness. I'm glad you made it. Okay, slowly does it. Careful with that gas canister.
We're not gonna win yet!
Keep going! We have to get to the engine!
Whoa. Or like that. Careful! My God. Arrowhead, do we need that? Is that better?
You got any good news? No! Thought I'd ask!
4x4s, where are they now? Oh, come on!
Ah! These losers are slowing us down! We need to move faster!
These losers. Oh, there's a crane. Can we do anything with that? Oops. Oh no. I'm in the Jeep. What? Oh, so now we're going past the train to get faster to the engine. My God. What type of level is this as well? It's like an open world level, isn't it?
Fire! Gotta get out quick!
Will you this how? Just jump back on the train? God, what?
That was bracing.
It was something!
Oops. So engine, eyes on the prize.
We need to go around. Watch out! It's got a mounted gun! Keep your
Man.
head down!
What are you gonna do against the mounted gun? I have no idea. Chloe, behind there! Oh my goodness!
You will regret that. You cannot win.
I noticed that was a different driver than on the previous
Get
car.
close enough and we can grapple to it!
Are you joking? Do I ever?
To the mounted gun, you think? That's just insane. Do you know, yes, Brian, we're on easy mode. I hate to see what this is like in, you know, less easy mode. So she wants me to drive up to this thing.
We should get out! No!
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Back on the train because this thing is on fire. Do you think it's a harmless puzzle game with a little bit of exploration and then it turns into this? I have to say that is one huge criticism that I have about Naughty Dog as a developer. They keep doing this. They bring out one game and then they bring out a sequel, which is then not really a sequel. It's like something like a totally different game. And you think, hey, while I appreciate all your work, does it maybe need to remain playable for people? Did she say I'm supposed to grapple onto this thing?
Gonna blow any second!
Well... Ah. Oh, grapple already, goddammit! So I had like one frame in which I could have pressed the button, and I think I pressed it one frame too late. Maybe we'll try it again. Can we? No, not possible. Dang! Well, this is easy mode, Camilla.
Keep your head down!
This is easy mode.
Okay, any thoughts on how to get on that truck?
Get close enough and we can grapple to it!
Are you joking?
Let's do this! Nadine! Oh, shit!
Do we ever? Grapple on already, you had your chance!
Oh my god! Ah, whoa.
Seriously.
Okay.
Sure. That'll work. And we just casually go up and...
Holy hell!
I've got his attention! Move
Sure.
it! More vehicles coming on the other side! Need me to do that? No. But I'll
Other
shoot the
side.
Maybe next time.
Like where? Like there? Okay, gotcha.
Watch those snipers!
Snipers, gotcha. I'm on it.
Clear them out! Makes me impressed! heavy, and he's got a huge gun.
Oh yeah, guy with a huge gun already. My goodness. One of those guys you could never get without a mounted gun.
We do that? Yeah, we did. Right. This truck's on its last legs. We need to bail. Now!
Let's bail. Come on.
Oh, whose stupid idea was this? Yours! Right.
Do I have guns still? Yeah, a moderate amount. So I think the game has, I don't think it's like easy, medium and hard. I think it has how strong the combat is. So there is story and light and moderate and something, you know, hard and super crushing. Or those are the kind of difficulty levels. And I think I've used the light combat thing. So it's not
Heading
quite
to Tusk
story.
for a bomb, commandeering a train. Must have taken us 12 months to plan this. Making it all the sweeter when we bollocks it all up.
But I didn't quite use story, so I used that in my defense. Because I thought light is going to be seriously easy. I thought light is something that I could do. Obviously, the game has corrected me there on multiple occasions.
I think
Thank
we're
you,
almost
game.
there.
Shall we open this? Come on.
Why budge? Let me help.
Teamwork!
This is really heavy. Go. I got it. Okay. Your turn.
Alright, good stuff.
Oh, it's way bigger in person. It's military grade, all right. Here, help me.
Why does he have a bomb on the train again? Story-wise, why is that happening?
You can't disarm it? It'd detonate if I tried. All right, plan B then. Let's get to the engine.
I thought that was always our plan. Or maybe it
You
wasn't.
coming?
Maybe the idea was disarm the bomb,
Okay, you go.
which we'll try for 2 seconds and then we'll give up. That's how I usually approach problems.
That's definitely the engine.
This here. Definitely the engine. Gotcha. Let's see. We get in. Get out of the way, Nadine. Nadine!
We can slide this way. Come on.
There's definitely some substance painter material things going on here, isn't there? Definitely. Ooh, it's got things going up and down on the inside there. So how many cylinders is that? Loads of them. Right, blow stuff up or people. Gotcha.
No. They welded it shut. Shit.
Oh yeah, you can see the
Hey.
welding seams.
Roof hatch.
Roof hatch. Gotcha. Roof hatch. We can't just jump up, can we? No, that would be too easy. Roof hatch. Maybe like this. God. Hiya!
Think about what you're doing. Just do it.
Just do it, yes.
Come on.
Well, that also has welding seams on it.
Any luck? This one's welded shut too.
Dang.
Another way. If you've got any ideas, I'm all ears. The switch. What? Up ahead. The switch house. If we can get to it, we can divert the train. Buy us some time. All right, sounds good.
How are we going to get there? We'd have to get there before the train.
Right.
We'll need a ride. Okay, let's just go and jump right in, shall we?
How about I? Oh shit, Nadine!
Okay, we're on our own. Nadine's on the train.
You boys just can't leave well enough alone. Don't have much time.
No, we don't. So we're driving to the switch house, flicking a switch, and then we'll catch up with Nadine again, I guess. Who came up with this plan?
Holy hell! Sam! Hey, Sam!
Holy shit! Hey! How's Trick?
We need to switch the train to another track.
Got it!
And he immediately understands what we need to do. I like it. I like it. He's a fast one, that Sam. Oh no 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 no! Oh dang! Went the wrong way. You were gonna make that suggestion, Camilla. How exciting! You think just like the developers. Okay, must not go down that ravine.
Hey, Sam!
Holy shit! Hey! I'm tricked!
We need to switch the train to another track.
Got it!
And we know exactly where to do that too. At that switch house, we know exactly how to get there. Oops. This has got to be it. The JJR station. Oops.
Sam! Sam!
Where's Nadine?
Back on the train. We have to flip the switch.
Where is the switch? Oh, there's the switch. Sam's already on the case. Good stuff. Come on. Hiya! Together we can do it. Oops.
We don't have time for this.
No, we certainly don't.
Jackasses! Can you give us a minute?
Oh, here, this guy. That's going to come in handy. Yes, I like
Train's
it.
getting closer.
We got this!
Also, 2 well-placed grenades, perhaps.
That's it. We're clear.
Excellent.
Back to the switch!
Right, switch. Gotcha. In the nick of time.
Come on, come on, come on!
Oh, good. With 1 second to spare.
Shit, Nadine! I've got to get to her.
Wait. We have to? I mean, she seems pretty capable.
Sam.
All right, I'm just here.
Shit.
God damn it! Go! I'll keep in the bank.
Okay.
That's Sam. Can always rely on him.
Let's do this.
Which way are we going? This way, maybe? On the train, off the train. That driving doesn't help, does it? Sliding the... Ooh, nice sun effect.
Okay. There's the train. But how the hell do I get on board? Can't see any bridges.
Oh, it's on the other
Crossings?
side.
Well, shit.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Chloe, snap out of it!
If that worked. Oh my
I
God,
can't
the
either.
bridge. Shit.
Get out of it! And then of course the car. Yes, that could have been us. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
What took you so long? Had to catch a train, love.
Oh yes, my favorite part, the brawling.
I've always considered myself a patient man. But you two are a special breed of mongrel.
Rude. I'm really going to enjoy this.
Come! Show me how it's done. Shit!
Need more practice this off?
Get him, girls! He's
You
evil, he has a
risk your
bomb!
lives. And for what?
And some
A
tusk!
city of peasants.
Christ, you're insufferable.
Who you
Blood
calling
of the old
peasants?
kings runs through my veins. My people shall rise again.
Oops. Dodging his attacks. I'm trying at least.
You should come here. You will lose. We could have done so much together.
you glass.
From both sides, I love it.
This is my
Right!
land. What could you possibly stand to gain?
Oh, it's all about what you have to lose.
The bomb. I'll just buy another. I'll burn your city, thief. Your people will beg me to save them.
Come on, Nadine.
Let's finish this.
No! Nadine's my friend! Oops. Oh dear.
Die! Make peace with your gods.
Dang! Didn't quite survive that one. I don't think I've ever played that. Tekken is one that I've never played. I've played the other one. Dead or Alive? That was a little bit like that. So I don't quite understand the concept here. I'm just dodging, I'm never doing anything else. Is that what we're doing?
See you in the next life.
Ouch! Got the neck snapping action going.
Don't fight. One should know when they're conquered.
Nadine's back! Alright!
Your time ends now.
Oops.
Oh, shit.
And you.
Does it?
Now
I'm coming.
you're conscious.
Going down. Down.
Oh my goodness.
Gotta get out. Oh, no. No.
Go up or something! Oh my god, what?
I know you. You're no hero. My war will destabilize the government. The sheep will need their shepherd, and you will have died in vain.
Oh, that's this thing. I should have got you. Do you know that's an idea? Unconditional surrender. I like it. But then no. Never.
The sheep will need their shepherd.
I quote Churchill. Oh man, never surrender. Except when you absolutely have to.
You're no hero. My war will destabilize the government. The sheep will need their shepherd.
So-
and you will have died in vain.
We do swinging action and go knock him out! Like so!
I will die 1,000 deaths before I let you win.
Oh, shit. Friendly reminder, the bridge.
Shut up
Bridge!
and fight!
Let's finish this. Go.
What are we doing again? Dodging attacks or just beat him senseless? I like it. Let's do that. Forget the dodging. Just keep beating him up.
You've ruined everything. Everything! My cleansing would have been beautiful!
Also, by the way, where's the
Why
tusk?
didn't you just die?
Anyone got the tusk? Tusk? Does he have it? Is it in the bomb?
We're done here.
Yes, who writes these lines, Nancy? Who comes back with constantly yet another quip, another quip?
Like the young James, you have achieved nothing.
It's like you said. Progress demands sacrifice. Tracer,
His own
we
words!
need to go.
Where's the tusk? Anyone got the tusk?
Smug little shit.
Run!
The MacGuffin of the story. Where is it? Uh-oh. The bridge!
This might be it. Go! Get up! Go!
Uh-oh. Good thing I had my rope ready. Oh my. I can't watch.
Could you possibly start climbing, please?
Jesus.
Oh, Sam!
Sam!
Come up, I got you.
My God! Oh, that's all muscle. That's what they all say.
Come on, come on.
My God, I think we've made it.
How the hell did you guys get out of that?
Yeah, I'm just still figuring that out myself.
Good question.
And, Asav?
I'm done with this train.
Well, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Sam has the task. Okay, good. I was getting worried there for a second. I thought maybe it's on the train. If Sam has the task, all is good. Nice view, gotta say.
Wow.
And it's still intact. It hasn't blown up. That's even better.
Yep.
We just did a thing. We did.
God, we can breathe again.
What's next for Nadine Ross? Take back Shoreline. Conquer the weapons trade. I'm done with Shoreline.
Really?
You're done with Shoreline. Last I heard was you wanted it back.
If anything, I was thinking I might give this treasure hunting racket another go.
Right.
Know of any selfish dickheads who might be in need of a partner? Not you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I only work with professionals. Right.
That hints at a sequel, doesn't it?
And where's the tusk?
Yes, where's the tusk? Apparently Sam has
Oh
it.
my God.
What?
Sam.
I'm just joking. There you go. You're ow!
I like it.
Okay. Jesus. That's my last cigarette.
Man, that's a beauty.
Yeah.
How much you think that we're gonna get for that baby?
Well, surely the Ministry of Culture will give us a generous
Yeah.
finder's fee. Right? Partner? Elbow.
You guys.
Sam and Chloe save the world. That would be an appropriate title. I'm thinking that as well. It certainly
my
sounds
God,
like there's a
you're serious.
sequel perhaps coming at one point, but it hasn't materialized. So this was 2017, it's 2022 now. 5 years. We haven't heard anything else from Uncharted. So unless it's been in the works all this time, I don't know. How interesting. That is the end. There's one last scene here just after some of the titles that we need to see. And then we can do something else. Let me know what you like to do. Is it Blender Fluid simulations, or shall we play another game, or shall we do something completely different? Do let me know. Find Waldo, yes, absolutely. Kingdom Come now, all right. Neil Druckmann, I think he's the guy who writes the lines, together with Sean and Josh. Not the creative team that made Uncharted 1, 2, 3, by the way. Completely different team. Just creatively, some of the tech guys are the same. Like Evan. And we're all having pizza. Come on, that's good.
I got it. Private collector. Huh? Just hear me out for a second. I understand taking the moral high ground, and that's great. It really is. I am completely on board for that. But if we could just...
Don't ruin the moment.
She, the girl in the middle, we've met her at the very beginning. She was the one guiding Chloe through the Indian market. That's why we brought her back. Well, there we go. Some short horror game before we start Kingdom Come, also a possibility. I'll see what's in my library, shall I? I'll see what's in my library. So I've watched the titles. There's nothing more coming now, I gotta say. But oh yeah, this is something that's quite cool. They're in the bonus section. Can we get rid of this title somehow? I guess we can't. Let me go back to the main menu. There we go. There's some nice things that they've added here that you basically unlock when you finish the game. So there's multiplayer as well. There's a survival mode that I don't know what it is, but in extras we have the treasures and the statistics, and then there's the bonus items. There's also your cell phone, but the bonus items, you have gameplay modifiers, skins that you can play Chloe and any of the other characters in a different outfit. So that's kind of nice. You can basically buy that for points. This is how we meet her in the beginning. This, I don't think we've ever seen that or that, but you know, we can play the characters as that, which is nice. This is an outfit from... These are all actually outfits from Uncharted 4. Sam has also some... In Uncharted 4 he was a waiter at one point, and he also broke out of prison. I love these little poses that they strike. That's kind of nice. So you can go and buy this, and then they appear as that in the game if you play it through again. But more interestingly, I think there's some different render modes you can get. Is there also the model gallery? This is something that interests us as 3D artists here. You can go and unlock any of these, like maybe this one here, buy that for 2 points, and then you can go and have a closer look at the character. So this is real-time rendered now. You can see that when you move things, so the hair and stuff, that's all completely dynamic. So this is all rendered in real time. It's also the necklace here, that's rendered in real time, and you can really have a closer look at skin details and all kinds of things. So that's very, very cool. Like, you know, grip on the weapon. I'd love to see something like a wireframe overlay. Stuff, how they've made this in, you know, there's definitely some substance action, some Marvelous Designer action going on. Very, very cool. So I think that's a really nice little touch, and everything's a little diorama. So there's more Chloe, there's Nadine here somewhere. Oop. But there's also other models, so it's the characters, but there's also other models. It's quite exciting. You can also get rid of the UI, so you can just go have a closer look at how they've made the model. It's blood gashes in her skin underneath the ripped t-shirt and stuff like that. So it's all details like that. I find that fascinating. And that's a game character. So there's only one thing I'd like to know, if these are the figures that are used for the gameplay, or if that's kind of a lower res geometry. I have a feeling there's probably two versions. There's probably a lower res geometry so that you can walk around and stuff. Detail on the watch and all that. That is just very cool. I get a real kick out of that, to just look at these things up close. This is sometimes what I do with DAS models as well, that I just have a closer look at how do you do that skin texture, and how do you do this, how do you do that, and just appreciate the artist's work that's gone into it. I'm really glad they've added that. Sam, South Orca elephant, like here, these things, you can buy those as well. That is quite cool. Big elephant, little elephant, and he has hair. Yeah, very nice. And hair underneath your body. Where'd you get elephant references from? I don't think I've really explored this in Uncharted 4. I don't think I've ever looked into that. I've only just discovered that in this game. So could be that this isn't in the other game, or I just never discovered it. That's also possible. Ew, helicopter. I think we may have shot down that bad boy at one point. Some damage here. That's just... Oh, and there's the gun. We should have put a character here that operates the gun. Let's reverse engineer something. I believe some people do that. So I think you have, if you get characters like this, I mean, they must exist in some kind of OBJ form in the game. So I think what some people do is they just get it, they just go and get the OBJ, rip the OBJ out or some other 3D format out of it. And then like from this, you can, it's not quite an A pose, but Wrap 3D can probably extrapolate the character and put it onto something like a Genesis character. So that would work. Perfect for references. Oh, I see. That's a nice one. What are they called? The Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. That is cute. And then, of course, real-time physics here as well. That is also, you know, that's just sweet, isn't it? If you know how this is made under the hood, you have you essentially paint a map on the object. So there needs to be enough geometry in there. And then you tell the engine that this part is supposed to be physics simulated. And then like this part on the back of his shirt here, that isn't. So they wouldn't have added it there. Also the arms, they don't have it. There's only these two flappy bits left and right. I've tried that in Unreal Engine once. It is tricky. It is difficult, but it's definitely doable. It's just, you know, like so many things, patience is the key. Oh, he's got tattoos. And he's been in prison, apparently. It's a very interesting, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but you can just about make out some hair stubbles here. That's actual geometry, and then the rest is nicely blended in with the textures there. Yeah, so if you see it in the profile here, so there's some real hair going on here. Quite impressive, isn't it? Jesus. No human interference. I love it. Where are they? You may have said already, but where are they? Asaf, you're the villain. We don't want to even look at you. So evil. Look at his eyes. Very nice to make your own screenshots of that. I wish we could do this in Dash Studio. I wish there was something either like, you know, filament being on this level of quality, or filament shaders or whatever, or iRay being just much, much faster. I mean, considering that this is a PlayStation, the hardware, just the processing power necessary for making this happen isn't actually all that much. So give us this, you know. That's what I want. Kenya. Okay, gotcha. Who are you? Oh, you mercenary villain. Isn't he Nadine's old colleague? What he's got in his pockets here, very cool. That dangles. That's very cool. Very cool. Well, okay, we have about an hour. I'm thinking let's go and let's do some 3D stuff. This always gets me excited about doing 3D stuff myself, so we might just do that. Other stuff I have to offer is Elden Ring, shutters, Horizon, check it out. Forbidden West. We could do, he's a slacker, yes. We could do Horizon Forbidden West at one point. And then, of course, also courtesy of the Commander, a bit of Anthem. Very good. This came with my new PlayStation, by the way, so that's kind of cool. And then there's also these games here. I'd love to have a look at them at one point. The Last Guardian, in development for like 10 years. And also the remastered version of Shadow of the Colossus. So, quite nice. Yes, let's do that, Yoshi. Let's do that. I'll put this away. We lock ourselves out of here. Yes, Horizon Forbidden West. That is something I'd love to have a look at. Currently, I've got so much other stuff to do that that might have to wait for a little bit. Alrighty, first of all, this is what I had to install again this morning because it didn't quite work. First of all, a little bit of music, because that always makes 3D just much, much nicer. Let's go with our friends from Epidemic. Yeah, so what I've been dealing with this week was happy jazz. How's that? Happy jazz is good. Let's do that. Happy jazz. I like it. Happy jazz. What I've been dealing with this week was fluid simulations in Blender. And I've done that because I have bought Fluidos for Dash Studio. And I remember looking into fluids in Blender a while ago. And then I remember I haven't actually taken any notes of how to set this up. So I looked back into it kind of to refresh my memory. And then it turns out that Fluidos is almost the same step. So it's not the same algorithms that are underneath it, but it certainly is something that's very, very similar. Let me show you what I've done here. I think maybe. Right! Little elephants. I'm glad they're doing that. I have to say, I'm glad they're doing that. Could this be it? That might be it. Yeah, there we go. That I've made. And that wasn't actually all that difficult. And it's I thought we can do something like that and then just play around with these other things that we could apply. So there are like 3 key components to making this happen. There's a kind of a cage that'll be the domain in which the fluid can exist, and that whole domain is made up of voxels, so it's very closely related to VDB. So underneath it, each file, each frame of the animation is saved as a VDB file in a temporary directory, and the whole domain is going to become essentially voxels, and those are then either liquid or air or something else. So fluid simulations, they don't only make liquids, apparently they can also make smoke and fire. So it's the same kind of underlying engine that is being used for that. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so that's the domain, and then you need something like an inflow or geometry. So you need some kind of geometry inside that domain, and that'll be then turned either into liquid and just falls down and just splashes, or you can say this isn't geometry that's supposed to become liquid, like a fixed amount of liquids. You can also say this is something that pours, like an in-pour, which is what I've used here. So this keeps constantly generating fluid that's being poured into this, like, you know, when you pour coffee from a spout. And then on top of that, you can then go and have something like an outflow, and that's something that'll remove fluid from the domain. I've never used that, but we can totally try that out. This would be something if you fill up a sink and then you drain the sink with a plug hole. That would be like one of those examples. Oh yeah, and then the other thing that you have is something like the cup. So that is the effector, Blender calls it, or like an obstacle, like Fluidos calls it, and that's the thing that will stop the liquid from going, you know, to the outsides of the domain. Let's see if I can remember how to set this up, because I had a lot of fun doing that, modeling the coffee cup and anything and everything in between. Let's see if I can remember it. Practice makes perfect. Fluidos, oh okay. Yes, it was on sale, wasn't it? It's been on my wish list for a while, and I thought, yeah, maybe I'll grab it. It was slightly cheaper to buy the light version and then the upgrade rather than just the full version. It was like $2 cheaper or something. So oh yeah, this is one I've made. So there we go, I've made that, and I think I've also added a handle to the cup here. And this was all rendered in... And there's a bit of overspillage here. I don't really know how to avoid that, but you know, that's apparently, if you set the resolution low enough, it'll work. So this all works in Eevee. So in real time, which is really cool. Oh yeah, I used a different coffee shader here, which I thought would be a little bit more transparent, but the problem was that you then don't see the funky surface as it happens. So quite nice. Let's do all this from scratch. I'll go and start with a regular general scene here. And I'm not going to delete the default cube because, you know, we can use him. So we can use the cube as the domain. All I might do is move him up to the bottom level, so GZ1. And then this guy is going to be the domain here. So I think let's go rename him first of all into domain. And I think the funky bits are happening here on this tab. That's the physics simulation tab, I think. in here you can declare this as a fluid. Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? Yes, fluid. And that'll essentially give that object that we've selected a type. And in my case, I want this to be the domain. So flow would be like the inflow or the outflow, and the effector is the obstacle. Or none means this object isn't participating in the fluid simulation. So I'm going to make the cube the domain, and then lots of things keep popping up here. And I think the domain type is going to be liquid. So it could also be gas. I've never played with that. I just played with liquid. Liquid, there we go. Then the resolution divisions here, those are technically that's the voxel size inside the domain. So if I go, let me just switch this back to gas just now, because that means the cube turns transparent. And down here we can see this kind of mini cube, and that's representative of the resolution divisions. So if I set this to something higher, like 60, then that cube gets smaller, so there's more resolution inside the domain. So those are the voxels essentially. But if I set this to something higher, like 10, the cube gets larger, and the effect of that is that the simulation is quicker to calculate, but it's also less accurate, so the fluid isn't going to look as good. I might stick with the 32 here, that's the default, and then switch this over from gas to liquid. Mr. Chris, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. I think I've just closed that. I meant to leave that open so we can actually select these things. Okay, so that's the domain, and currently the cube is visible, so we don't really want to have that. I'm going to Shift Z into transparency mode here, and I'm going to add something that'll become the thing that pours liquid in. So I'm going to go and use a sphere, or an icosphere maybe, like so. Make that a bit smaller, or maybe like this, and then I'll go and bring it kind of to the top here. It doesn't have to be, so if it's outside it doesn't have an effect. It can be half inside, but it can also be completely inside. I might go and do that. And it is now also going to be fluid. So with icosphere selector, I'm going to go and call that my liquid perhaps. With that selector, I'm going to go and also make it a fluid, and in this case I'm going to say this is going to be the actual flow, and that means I now have options here. So flow type, I think that's also going to be liquid, very important. But then I have the flow behavior here, so I have geometry, inflow and outflow, and if I leave this on geometry, then this is just going to turn into one big flabby object and fall down, and that's all it'll do. I'm going to turn this into, inflow, then it keeps pouring, and outflow means it'll take fluid away. So let me leave this on geometry for now and just have a quick look how the rest of this is being set up. So if I turn this back with Shift Z into full mode, we can't see it, so I'm going to leave it on transparent just for now. I'll go back to my domain and set some things up in that. So I think it'll be, I'll get rid of that and put specify a cache directory for this under cache. So this is where Blender is going to save out all these files that it calculates. And I've made one that I'll just use for everything, which is like a cache directory on one of my drives. And there's one for Blender and one for Fluido. So if I play around, I'll just use the Blender thing. That every time you make a different simulation, this is all going to be overwritten. So if you wanted to keep it, then you have to specify a directory that you can archive. So very important. Let's head over to accept, and then you say how long is my animation supposed to be. I don't want to do 250 frames. I'm going to just calculate 100, just so that we can do that. And under type, I'm going to select all, so that this button comes up, which is called Bake All. And that's almost all we need. I'll just do one other small adjustment, and that is to adjust my timeline to also have 100 frames, so that I have this thing, you know, on the bottom here, that I have the simulation calculation be in line with my timeline. And that is really all we need to do. Now we hit Bake All here, this big button under the cache, and then Blender's going to go to work. And with the 32 resolution, it's actually going to happen rather fast. And there we go. We can see something. If I play that back, we get liquid simulation. And that's really nice. Isn't that cool? And it even gives you this little preview, so you don't have to worry about shaders at this point. You can just see is the effect kind of what I'm after, and I really like that. So if you wanted to have something like, you know, that goes longer or shorter, you can go and adjust it at this point because the calculations are just so fast. So let's adjust our liquid to not just spill down. Let's adjust it so that it basically just keeps, you know, flowing in. Neville, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Mr. Nate, what's happening? Very good to see you guys. We've just finished off the Uncharted one, and now we're having a quick look at you know, playing with liquid simulations in Blender. Join us, join us. I might go and split this out as a separate clip. TBC, depends if it's any good or not. So let me go and make a quick change here to the liquid, and instead of turning it into under settings here, into geometry, I'm going to set it to inflow, and that means it'll just keep, you know, flowing now. And that's the only change I'm going to make. I'm going to go back to my domain and go to the free all. Oh yeah, that's the thing. If once you've calculated the animation or the simulation, the bake all button turns into free all button. So this is now essentially saying I'm looking at this cache directory here, and if I say free all, then the animation is being deleted, and then I have the bake all button again. So if you made any changes, you have to go and bake everything again. Let's go and do that. See what happens now. It takes a tiny bit longer. And now we should see that water just keeps pouring into the domain and fills it up to the very top there. That's kind of cool. And that's kind of what will happen inside the coffee cup. So what we need now to make that restrict not to the outsides of the domain is something like a cup object that can hold that, like all that liquid. I suppose the other thing that we can do is, this is going to be too much coffee. If I have a cup that's much smaller, I'll just go and overflow. So I think I might go and change my liquid object here. Just make that a bit smaller. And then go and recalculate this on the domain. Free all, bake all. So now we have, well, maybe we go and move this up a little bit as well. I can move it outside the domain, so only half of it kind of pours out. Let's go bake this. See what that looks like. Yep, that's more like coffee would be pouring into something. I like all the little balls there. So those are just preview things. We're going to get rid of those and turn that into real geometry once we have a coffee cup set up there. Okay, let's go and build one then. That's all we can do. I don't have a cup handy. I'll go and build one. That means I'm going to have to maybe just switch this off for a second and go back into solid mode here. I'll go build myself a cup. So I'll start maybe with the cylinder, like so. GZ1 to bring that up there, and also put the origin point at the bottom of this. I think that's under set origin to 3D cursor, like so. I'll go and scale that down. I might also make it a little taller. So SZ, like make that turn into kind of a coffee flask, like so. And apply the rotation and scale. Apply all, in fact. And then I'll go into edit mode and widen the top face here. To make that a bit like a Starbucks cup. Oops. Kind of like this, maybe. That should do the trick. I'll go and make the liquid invisible as well. We can just deal with the cup. And I think this has to be... I can't just take this face away because it'll be like a planar hollow object. I think I might go and make this so that it has sides. So I'll go press I and inset this face here. Like so, and E, enter, and then I can go GZ and put the bottom kind of down like so. And then go and scale the bottom in so that we have a little S Shift Z, so we have a little, you know, something like that. Does that look good? Chris, what do you think? You're the Blender expert among us. Tell us, is this something that we can live with? This is not going to be suitable for something if I put a subdivision surface modifier on it. If I were to do that, then this is going to look like that. So it does that because the geometry collapses. So in order for that to be subdivisionable, so to say, I'll go and add some edge loops just so that the geometry will be held in place. Let me do that. Control R, a couple here. And we'll say SZ so that we, oh no, actually we're going to go and Alt select that and just go, can I grab that up? No, I can't. Ah, should have thought about that before. Do that manually, put one in here. And one here, that should do that. Do you know what, Neville? Good point, actually. We've had huge amounts of rain ever since yesterday. I think around the 1st of June here in South Florida, the so-called rainy season or the hurricane season starts. So we've had that essentially start. We had rain all day and all night since yesterday. It's quite crazy. There, so that'll hold that, and technically I think I also need one at the bottom here, otherwise that is going to make an issue. But I can't insert an edge loop here. I'm going to have to go and select that edge and essentially extrude it inwards. Like so. And then that should be that. And we should technically also do that on the inside here. I mean, you know, I'm being very pedantic here. E, enter, and then we go S, Shift Z, and do kind of that. That should, I could also insert an edge loop up here, I suppose. Should we? Yeah, let's just do that so that that edge is being held in place as well, more or less. That should now withstand the wrath of the subdivision surface modifier. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. It's the perfect coffee cup. I like it. Let's smooth shade it so that it looks super exciting. I think. Shade smooth. Yes, look at that. Perfection in a cup. Oh, okay. You know, I'd love to, Nancy, but you can have it all. Because, you know, I could barely sleep last night because it was so loud, and we have really good windows now. And sometimes when the rain is so strong, you think, my goodness. And they really have an issue here with the drainage, because I mean we have storm drains here, but there's a limit as to how much quantity they can take. So I'd love to send some to Florida. Do you know, Neville? Me too, actually. I love the air that you get after a heavy rain. That is quite nice, isn't it? This kind of musty, super fresh flavor. Everything feels nice and clean. I don't mind getting wet either. That's also okay, as long as it's warm. I do mind getting cold. Nate, what is it like for you right now? Is it getting warm? Do you have kind of a rainier season where you are? I remember discussing this with Jeremy once, that we said, do you think of something like summer, autumn, winter, spring, or how do you think in seasons? And Jeremy told me, no, not really, because it's fairly close to the equator. They basically think of it as a dry season and a rainy season. So I suppose now it's kind of the rainier season, I'm thinking. Like, it's just in my mind. I don't know if that's correct. Do let me know. Rained and 13 to 20 degrees, but midsummer is coming indeed. Second half usually gets hotter and less rainy. Midsummer, that is a big celebration in Sweden, right? Is that where you have, where at midnight or around midnight, it barely gets dark. It's kind of, it's almost like dim, dusky all night long. Hot, hot and wet, I like it. Sunny in Canada, I like it. You're finally getting away from the snow. My goodness, now in June, that's crazy. Oh, I'm glad you're getting some sun. That's nice. I'm hatching plans. I'm gonna rename this into cup here. I'm hatching plans of making putting a handle on this, but I'm also not all that sure how I'm gonna do that. I might go and try a cube, ever so slightly smaller, perhaps. See if we can make ourselves a handle out of that. Maybe just like a stylish handle that just goes into it like so, and just goes, and I think I might be able to make that happen inelegantly. SY to make that slimmer, like this could be the width of the handle, and apply everything, and it's kind of, I should have made a grid really. I might just go and do that, and then I'll add some geometry here like that. Oops. Enter. And then I'm thinking I could just go and remove all these faces maybe. So X faces, and then we have something like that. It might be a bit too long. I can always squish it down. That'll be okay. If we also subdivided that, I might have to, I'm not going to weld it or anything. I'm going to be very inelegant about this. I might just go and squash that. Yes, SX, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking here, like this. Yeah, like that. And I'm just going to go extrude this face and make it look a little smoother with some edge loops there. I'm thinking that's probably going to be enough. There, I'm thinking. So a real modeler would do this very differently, because ideally these objects should be connected, and I don't think I'm going to connect mine. I'm just going to go and play it by ear here. So that this doesn't quite collapse. Yeah, that should do the trick. I mean, I don't know if it will, but let's, whoops. Let's find out. If I add a subdivision surface modifier to this as well, does it? It doesn't look so bad. I don't have any geometry on the inside here. That's going to be, it's going to be a minor issue. See if we can fill that out somehow. But you know, so far I'm thinking we're not bad here. I think this is something that I don't really know about, how I can make, I'll take this off again, how can I fill this geometry here now. Let's see if I add this. Oh, there we go. Can I just go F? Yeah, that's not going to work well, does it? Let's not do that. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. If I do that, is that, yeah, that kind of works. I like it. I like it. There's always a way, isn't there? Fill them faces. Ooh, it works. How exciting. And then this, can I select? Yes, I can. Ooh, all right, perfect. That is quite impressive. Is that going to fall apart though if I go and put my subdivision surface modifier on there? Is that, yes, going to look crazy. But that's okay. There's a couple of extra edge loops and we should be okay. We should be okay. Will it let me do that? No, it won't. Oh, dang. Hey, maybe that's the handle. That's the handle we're kind of looking for, though. If I shade it smooth, maybe that's okay. Perfect. I'll worry about the rest sometime later. There, that's a handle now. It's more about the coffee than about anything else, so I'm okay with this as a handle. Do we agree? Good handle for now. If I knew anything about 3D modeling, I'd do a better job, I promise. But I don't. This is the handle there. Did I apply things? I think so. I could parent this to the cup too, but I might just leave the handle, not even participate in the whole simulation here. Okay, let me bring my domain back. Also, should I maybe save the scene? It's a novel idea, isn't it? Let's save my scene. And this would be in kind of here. Coffee, there we go. I'm going to call this one Coffee Stream V1. Perfect. NFT it. It's the special handle. So if I now go back to the domain and go and play it back, nothing's going to happen. The cup is just being ignored. So let me go and free or haul this and dedicate the cup here. With the cup selected, let's select fluid and make him an effector. And it has some settings here, and that means collision is fine, surface thickness you can set here, I believe is planar is if you had something that doesn't have walls. So if I've been absolutely cheap and just removed the top face from the cup, then I could just use is planar, and then Blender's going to try its best to calculate this, but I don't know, I'm gonna stick with geometry here. So now with that, bake all. See if stuff is being poured into our cup. That's true, we could use half a torus and just put it on the side, yes. And I think that is what I've done in one of my previous things, to make it super easy. Cut the torus in half, just go, and then, you know, that's certainly a really easy way to do this for the handle. There we go! Cup is overflowing. But it works. Coffee cup is being filled up, so that's really, really nice. That is not bad. I think maybe if I make the inflow a little smaller, so that when the time comes, it's just at the top. That should do the trick, right? Maybe make you smaller. Or alternatively, I could just go and put it more outside the domain. That's also possible. I might just leave it like half in here. Domain, close settings, free all and bake all. I find that fascinating. I find that so fascinating. Now we have less stuff going in, and either we need to calculate more frames, like a little bit longer to frame 150, always leave it like as it is and just make it a bit bigger again. So maybe 150 frames. Let's do that. 150 frames. Let's do that. 150. And then also here the end is going to be 150. And that should now just put more coffee into our cup. See if it works. See if my theory is sound. More coffee is always good. But too much coffee, well, that's just terrible. Yes. Yes. Keep it coming. It's a full cup of coffee. I like it. That is nice. It flows a little slower now. Not bad. So technically, I think I'm kind of happy with this. I'm okay with this. Let's see if we can go and turn this into geometry now, because the blue balls, that's not quite what we want really. And I think you do that also on the domain settings, and you enable settings here, I think. Is that how we do that? Maybe that isn't how we do that. How do we do that again? Oh no, that's on the liquid object. I think on the liquid object. Is it where we go and say... No, that's also not where that is. Dang, I forgot now. We need to set something to mesh and something else to disable. So it could be under liquid. Yes, that's it. So under liquid, we need to enable mesh, and then the liquid domain becomes the mesh. And there's another thing that says preview. I think under mesh, we have that somewhere. Was it guides? Was it collections? No, that's not where that is. Was it particles? No, that's also not where that is. It was somewhere. Diffusion, probably also not. Was it viscosity? No, that's also not where that is. Under liquid, well, mesh needs to be switched on. That's the one thing that I do remember. And then we can go and shift Z back into this mode, and it should now. Oh, it doesn't do that. Dang. Do I have to bake it again? That could be. I'm glad I've made some written notes, so I could always look it up there. Let me go and try this. Free all, and just go bake all. I've totally made some notes. Here's too much coffee. Yes, absolutely. Could be. Does this work? Yes, there we go. So that's how I had to do that. And now we have coffee being poured in here. And also some little spillage drops jumping on the outside. I don't really know how to avoid that. But that's coffee in the cup. That's quite neat. And it has that little nice spilling motion there. And we can add a subdivision surface modifier to this to make it look a little smoother, or at least shade this smoother. Shade smooth, that does something. Coffee! The fuck you're talking about? I like it. So if I wanted to have this in a better resolution now, I can go and increase the voxel size of this. So it'll take a little bit longer to calculate, but so we might do that at the end, because I think in principle we're kind of happy here. I just like to add a few stabilization frames to the end, like 50 maybe, or maybe 100 even, so that we have a total of 250 frames, so that when somebody like stops pouring now, I think I'd like to do that. And that's a property that we can set on the actual flow object. So let me try that. Let me go make my whole simulation 250 frames. So now it takes a little bit longer to calculate, but it's going to be totally worth it, I'm sure. I'm going to set my simulation length 250 frames too. But on my liquid object, where it says this use flow parameter here, I can animate that with this little thing. So if I select that, if I click that, then this means this value is now animated. So it's set a keyframe here. And I want it to be on from here to frame 150. So let's click that again. So that's unchanged. But then I'd like to switch it off. So on frame 151, I'd like for this to be disabled. and also keyframed. And then from this moment onwards, use flow is disabled. But if I go over here, then it's enabled. So the result of that should be, I say should because it's a bit of an experiment. If I go and free all and bake all, let's see what happens. Have your logo appear on the coffee instead of the cup. Ew, never! That's going to be exciting. We can make the mug clear. We can try that. Yeah, maybe make it clear, maybe slightly frosty. It doesn't have to be coffee, it could be tea as well. That'll work. See what that looks like. So we're pouring, and we're pouring, and that's good. And then we're going to stop pouring. Yes! We stop pouring. I like it. Ha ha ha. It works. Then add chocolate sprinkles. Then, dang! Foam! Frappuccino foam. Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. And this with a higher resolution is going to look really nice. So this is all from a CG Cookie tutorial, by the way. So this, I haven't come up with this myself. There's a CG Cookie tutorial that I've looked at about a year ago. Let me give you a link to that article that that with some notes that I've made, so that you can follow along. And it has a link to the CG Cookie original in there, and he explains this quite nicely. I'll go and pop that into, bing, there we go, into that. Oh man, I was zoomed, wasn't I? Thank you so much for letting me know. There we go. I'll keep showing it. And this is that article, so you can follow along what I'm doing here. I keep doing that time and time again, don't I? I try to be helpful, and then really it's completely unhelpful. Dang! There we go. So this is what it looks like now. And as soon as the chat goes away, you actually get to see it. So the only other thing that I'd like to do now is to animate just very subtly the inflow object. So currently this sphere here where the coffee originates from is just pouring steady like if it was a vending machine. But what makes the whole simulation look more interesting is if somebody were, you know, to have a coffee can and then goes and it doesn't get held steady, so it's kind of, you know, it moves around a little bit. That's the kind of thing that I'm going to do next. So that's just by taking the flow object and just moving it around ever so slightly. This is my new coffee flask, by the way. This makes less noise when I pour myself a coffee. So before that there was this jangly thing on my other one, so now I can just go do this. So you can still hear the coffee flowing into the cup, but you don't hear the jangling anymore that the grip used to make. So yeah, from Mira, very nice. Very proud of it. It's the other one keeps the coffee hotter for longer, but this one's certainly going to see me fit through a 3-hour stream, so that's totally cool. I'll send you the link later, Nate, if you're interested. Okay, so let's make that happen with the fluid object, liquid object. I'm going to go and animate just the location properties. I don't think I need to animate the rotation, just the location. So I'll just hover over here and type I. That animates all that. And I'll be very subtle here over maybe 50 frames. It moves G, Shift, Z to kind of maybe here. And then I'll say I, and then I'll leave it there for a few frames, set another keyframe, and then I'll go over the next so many frames, I'll go and move it away again to maybe here, set a keyframe, leave it there for a bit, and then it doesn't have to be on 150, it could just be here. G, Shift, Z. I'll move that over here maybe. I. Ding! Perfect. So that now moves this. And it might not look great while I do it, but it'll certainly add. And maybe I should have a little bit more animation in there. Maybe that's a bit too small now the movements. What do you think? Yeah, I should have more erratic stuff going in there. I can do that. I can do that. Like, you know, put a keyframe here and put a keyframe here, and then on here I'm gonna go and say like that and say I. Yeah, I like that. Let's kind of make it a little more erratic also here. So I, just over a few frames, I again. As if clumsy waitress just drops by and pours coffee as she walks by, you know? See what that looks like once we simulate it. This could look very crazy, but hey, let's see. Exactly, now you can tell if Jay's pouring coffee or taking a break, indeed. So back to the domain. I promise I won't zoom in or out again. Go to free all and bake all. And while Blender is calculating this, let me have a quick look at my own article here, because I'm thinking I don't remember where that. Oh look, the latest video is already on there. That's nice, isn't it? Let's see if I can remember how I. Oh yeah, I don't want to see ads. If you're a supporter of mine and you don't want to see ads either, you can log in here under home. You head over to login and then just go and get yourself registered here. And well, there's the register link. As soon as you do that, you'll be logged in, and then once you are logged in, you don't see any ads on the site anymore. That works on any website, so you know, on any of my websites. Oh, I missed it. Dang. Creating a liquid, I've done that. Cup object. And what I didn't mention, what I thought I had mentioned, is where to do the preview thing. Man, I have to update the article. I forgot to mention that. It's the one thing I want to know. I thought I had, maybe it was in a draft and I haven't quite updated that. That's possible. Oh, there it is. Previous mesh concept, indeed. Head over to the cube domain under liquid, enable mesh. Disable liquid to remove the colorful balls. That's how we do that. I did do that. So on the liquid. On the liquid. It's not on the liquid, is it? It's on the domain. Liquid, just remove that. And then the blue balls are no longer there. I like it. Hey, goody. So this is cool. I like it. I like it. There's tons of stuff coming out there. So I don't know what the setting is to remove that, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. But there we go. This is how the flow now affects how the thing is being poured in. I like it. So the erratic movements work quite nicely. I love it. You, for once, you were too subtle, yes. If there is such a thing. Yeah, so it's like coffee is coming out of it. So it could be that when we make the voxel size smaller, it'll actually look better. That is possible. That there's no these things don't fall out anymore. So we could try that. It might take a little bit longer to simulate, but let's try it. So instead of 32, I might double that to 60. So this now means the calculation is going to take 4 times as long. But you know, we've got the time. I want to see what this is. There's a hole in my bucket, yes. I'd like to try out because we have a little bit of time, I'd like to try this out again, but without a cup object, with something simpler that will first fill something up and then drain it. I'd like to see how that works with the outflow object. So I've never tried that before. It might be good to see that. Exactly, the styrofoam cup with the leaks. I remember this was actually quite a problem when they were popular, that when you left liquid in there for too long, it kind of sweated it out, especially coffee, hot liquids like that. Not good, not good at all. Yeah, see if that's any better. I don't know if I'm going to do much shader work here. I suppose we could do. I've installed that Blender material library, so it might be fairly easy to throw some cheap materials on there. It's something that I really don't know all that much about in Blender. I wish there was something like a proper shader browser, but not like a hacky add-on. Like, you know, there's several of these for Blender out there. I'd like for something to be there natively, because they really do need something like that. And this whole, even if you had a good shader in a different Blender scene, you can go and import that and link it. That's possible, but it's really messy to open up the blend file and then go and dig 11 directories deep until you find the thing. I'm more like a one-click kind of guy. Like, you know how that studio works. I like that kind of browse for shader, double click to apply it. Focus more on the creative side of things, you know. That's what I'd like. Maybe one day. Blender 4.0. Come on, Blender. Show us what you can do. Alright. Here it comes. Yeah, little sploshes. That's very nice. Looks much more realistic now, doesn't it? Especially when we put a shader on there. And also, notice, only minimal amounts of spillage. So if I set this to something even higher res, it's going to be even nicer, I'm sure. We can probably also switch off our sphere here. Coffee being poured, all right. Hey, that's not bad. I like it. I like it. Let's see if there is some you know, shader magic we can use on here. One for the coffee, one for the cup. Let's see. So the domain, that's actually now the coffee, isn't it? And the cup is the cup. Let's start with the cup. I'll call it cup matte, and then on the bottom here I'll go to the material library VX, pick the sample materials. I will zoom in, but I will try to, you know, zoom out again. 1 for the coffee, 2 for the show. Yes. So there's basic glass that we can try out on the, if you wanted a glass cup, maybe that'll be nice. Let's apply that. And also see what that looks like. It's just the default lighting for now, with no HDRI. So sometimes reflections look better when we have a HDRI that can actually reflect something. Without one, there's nothing in the scene that could reflect things. So that's an issue. Also, let's set ourselves up a camera just while we're at it. View, camera to view. And we can animate that later. And now, of course, is the thing with the light. I'm just going to use one default light. Doesn't have to be a point light. Could be just It could be just that might work for what we're doing. So maybe glass isn't great. Let's see what else we got. Brushed metal. Could have a metal cup. Let's try that. See what that looks like. Same thing with the reflection. So it's probably best to have something like a HDRI in there. Screen space reflections. I'm going to use that, and ambient occlusion as well. It looks a little bit better then. Ceramic. Let's try that. Ceramic might be nice. We should also have something like a plane, really, like a ground plane. Ground mat. Let's see if we have something like ceramic polished. Could that go on the ground? That might be nice. So now liquid, that's kind of the domain. It already has a material. I might rename. I might call it coffee mat. Totally not allowed to rename it for some weird reason. Chocolate swirl, what is that going to look like? Let's try that. That's not chocolate at all. What do you get to? There it is. I'm not sure about the bump map there. But it's getting close to what we wanted it to be. I like that. Might be. So, Jeremy, what I've found from Fluidos so far is that the calculations of making this look like that takes about 50 times longer than what Blender does. So, just getting to this point, I found that extremely difficult and frustrating. I gotta be brutally honest. It could be that I'm doing something wrong, but the principle is pretty much the same, but the calculations just take so much longer. That's something that I have noticed. Coated glossy. Let's try that. Asian, huh? Let's go Asian. Coated glossy might not be bad. I could just go and turn the color into something different. Or just leave it like this. This is also quite exciting. If we wanted the coffee to be filled higher, we could just take the cup and put it lower. It's not really gonna matter now that this is a mesh. We could just do that. So then, if we were to do something like this, you know, then the cup appears to be fuller. Could do that. And if we don't want that, we can always go and make up our minds later. We can put the handle and also the ground in the same place. For now, let's go and leave it like it is. Are we good with this? Facade glass, fake shading, fake flaky tangelo. Let's try that. What is that? Could be a citrus fruit. I'm not sure. So, oh, that's the cup. Also a nice color for the cup. Flaky tangelo. I thought I'm still putting things on the coffee here. Flaky tangelo. That wasn't bad. Fresnel glow glass jewelry lemon. Lemon. I like that. Ketchup coffee, yes. Oh, that is nice. Maybe that'll suggest some kind of foam now. It's a lemon shade. It's got the bumps and everything. That's just it's quite. That's what I like about this material library. Polished walnut soap bubble. What is that? Oily coffee. That might not be bad in the full render. Especially if we can tint it to something. Stars, wire musgrove, wood pea, wood, and wood boards. That's kind of all we have. Yeah, so what I like about this is that we can still see some reflections here. It's more like hot water. I might just stick with what we had here. Oh, that's cranberry juice as well. That's also neat. Cranberry juice. But again, it's a bit like the second coffee shader that I've tried. You don't get to see many of the exciting surface details, so. I might stick with flaky Tangelo and just see if I can do something to the color. Let's try that. Ooh, okay. Yes. This is what that shader looks like, huh? So if we just make it darker, is that something that works? Kind of. You're not perfect, but I have to say, it almost looks like coffee. Almost. It's black coffee. We'll stick with that. We'll stick with that. I'll go and change my aspect ratio to something like a square. So like 800 by 800 should work okay. Let's see if I animate the camera now. We'll start with this. I and I, and then towards the end. We're here, is that good? I think the angle is not quite good here on the first frame, because I think I'd like to see the coffee literally going in at this point. See if that's any better. That might be nice. End like that. It's just 2 keyframes. I might give it a second light from the other side so that we have a little bit of a more balanced way of the shadows there. I don't really mind the light reflection here, even though I could perhaps move it over Just like so, maybe. Move it out of vision. And then we're just going to go duplicate that and bring it over to the other side here. Same type of light. Sure, there was a way to duplicate that. Was it Shift D? I think so. Light 1. Let's move that kind of here. There. I might make that bigger actually, so I don't have the shadows. They're going to be softer once it's rendered. Yeah, we could have something more from the top as well. I might put a mesh light in just from the top, just a slight one, that we see more of the coffee. Yeah, left and right works nice. I just need something from the top. We can do that, we can do that. Also save while I'm here. It looks more like green tea. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the right object, was it? I meant to say light. Area light. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And that is, of course, way too strong. But yeah, that kind of gets the idea across. 1 meter, is that okay? Probably is. Maybe even too much still. Coffee shop light atmosphere. I'm okay with it. For something we've cobbled together in about an hour, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so then the only other thing, viewport is currently 16, render is 64. I think that's usually enough to get a convincible result. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with this. So then the only other thing I was going to do is put the cup down a little bit so that on the last frame the coffee appears to be a little bit higher in the cup. Let me go and select all these things. Say G, Z, slightly lower like so. There. And since most of the calculation is done, I think I can probably just go and render this out and we can see a real preview if we wait like 5 minutes or so. Let's do that. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Save. Render out. To... Also, Camilla, very important. What did you order then? We totally want to know. Asian was... That's not quite specific enough. What exactly did you order? Blender coffee. There we go. I'll use this one here. I'll say stream coffee V1. Stream coffee V1 and hit accept. Then also we don't need alpha, so I'll use this, and I might use frame rate. I might use 30, and that should do the trick. Render animation. Boom. There we go. That's how fast Blender cracks on with it. That's just very cool. Ginger scampi with rice and chicken spring rolls. Ooh, very good. We had orange chicken yesterday, crispy orange chicken with rice. That was nice, but now we've run out of rice. And we don't want to go shopping because there's like torrential rain going on outside, so maybe we have to order in. We haven't done that in such a long time. Well, enjoy, Camilla. When's it there? How long does it take him to deliver it? Meanwhile, while Blender's rendering this, let me go grab Premiere. And then Premiere can go and compile this. Nice kick, I like it. Yeah, I like that. So we have this other thing that I don't know if you know about this Kung Pao chicken. I think that's a Kung Pao, I think. And that's a little bit too much for me. I like it without the kick. I'm not a kick person. Steamed dim sums and soy sauce for Neville. I like it. Okay, 20 minutes, that would be really fast. That would be really fast. Coffee animation. I've already been setting the other two up. Might as well put this one in there as well. So this was all footage here. And these two were previous edits. How's Blender doing? Blender's probably finished by now. Yes, Blender's finished. That's good. Let's go and add a bit of coffee magic to it. Blender coffee, stream coffee, here it comes. Image sequence. New sequence from clip. And this usually needs to be 50% slower because I've got it set up so that the default frame rate is 60, but that's, in our case, we only had 30, so it'll be... Haha! Oop, that's not the full resolution. There we go. Hey, not bad at all. Not bad at all. For something that we've cobbled together in such a short amount of time, I gotta say, that's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. Woo! It's almost worth making a 16:9 version out of it so that I can post it on YouTube better. But hey, I'll see what I do with that. Thank you so much for dropping by and doing this with me. It's always nice to develop these bits and pieces. Oh yeah, there's this one thing we wanted to do, wasn't it? Using the sink. What happens if we drain stuff out of it? That is something we can... Maybe we'll explore that tomorrow. That might be another idea for tomorrow. Let's do the same thing tomorrow. Make a sink with an inflow and an outflow. See if we can get that done, at least simulation-wise. I like the idea. Now drink it! Here it is. Nate, this is it. Look at that. It has the logo on it already. I maybe have to do that next time as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go and save this. I might make the scene file available to my supporters a little bit later on. That might be a nice touch. And I might split this out as well into a little clip so that we can keep this for posterity and enjoy it forever and ever. My friends, have a wonderful Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow for more schnick schnack and shenanigans. I don't really know what yet, but we're going to work it out. Take care. Bye-bye.